My name is Marco Balarezo. I'm originally from Peru, but my father is a diplomat. So I had the opportunity to travel around when I was a kid. And so I lived in different countries. In South America, I lived in Chile, then I lived in Madrid for a little bit. But I finished my high school and my college education in the United States. First, high school in Connecticut, a small state next to New York, and then my university in Virginia. I studied a Bachelor in Economics with a concentration in business. And then after 8 to 10 years of working back home in Peru, I decided to pursue an MBA at RSM. Before I joined RSM and did my MBA, I was working in my home country, Peru, for almost 10 years. Like I said previously, I finished my bachelor's degree in economics in the United States. This was around 2008, so it was a hard time in the United States. So during the mortgage financial crisis, so there weren't a lot of opportunities there. So I decided to go back home. I hadn't been in Peru. I hadn't lived in Peru for almost 7 years. So I saw it as an opportunity also to reconnect with my family, with my old friends from high school. So I went into first a financial setting. I was working in the financial planning area of a major bank in Peru called Interbank. I did that for a year and a half. And then I decided to switch. I switched to retail, especially focusing in the commercial area. And the major reason was that the financial planning area was a little more static. I really needed something a little more dynamic, where I could, not be sitting around in an office like 24/7, but also try to like negotiate, meet new people, which is a little bit of my character, my true nature. So being in a commercial setting and being part of this retail adventure for the past 8 years of my career was really fulfilling and good for me. I worked at this company called Cencosud, which is based in 5 different countries in South America, including major countries like Argentina and Brazil. And my title, it evolved throughout my career, but I stayed within the commercial arena, so to speak. I was first a product manager, then I went to a senior product manager role, and my latest role was a divisional manager, which gave me opportunity to manage people. It was a small team, but I also was exposed to this managerial part of the job that was actually pretty fun and where I learned a lot. My main reason why I decided to go and pursue an MBA was that I wanted to have that experience to work abroad. So I thought that the MBA would give me would catapult me into a professional experience and opportunity outside of my home nation. So that was my main reason why I do an MBA. Also, why I chose Europe and why I chose RSM is also it has to do with the fact that I already studied in the US. I did most of my early education in the US. I already built really good friends there, and I never had the opportunity to actually travel Europe or be in Europe for more than a couple of months. I visited a couple of countries, but I never had the opportunity to actually establish there, live there, feel the European culture, and also I really clicked with the recruiters in RSM. I thought they were match my personality, the way I want to do things. They explained to me a little bit of the process and what could go and what kind of companies could recruit me afterwards. So from a personal level, I wanted to also get to know the European culture, and from a professional level, the companies that were based in Europe and the Netherlands made sense. So they were in both ways really like a match for me, you know. And I would recommend everyone that actually applies to RSM to try to like reach out to alumni, try to like have these face-to-face interviews that I had. Ask as much as you can, especially what's going on inside the classes, and this tremendous opportunity that you have to actually meet people from so many places and learn so much from them. Arriving to the Netherlands was actually, I'm not going to say a culture shock, but it was definitely something different and that I was used to. Arriving to the Netherlands, I remember it was January 2nd or 3rd, and I had, I was coming back from Peru from a vacation at the beach. It was summer, obviously in the Netherlands it's winter, so it was a little, like raining, and everyone was biking, and I was like, I can't believe people are biking while they're raining. But this culture difference, and I think it hit me at once, and I embraced it, because I was in Peru. Unfortunately, we don't have this biking or cycling culture, which I learned that it's also kind of like an independent movement. The fact that you're relying on anyone to do your things and to move around. So the first couple of weeks in the Netherlands were interesting, because you had to adapt to a lot of things that I didn't do back home. I hadn't moved from one place or from Peru in almost 10 years, which marked the longest period I hadn't moved from a place. So I got really used to my life. So the fact that I didn't have a car anymore, and I didn't do groceries at the same place, or I didn't have my family to do these personal favors, and I had to do like everything myself, was actually quite endearing and quite fun. So to summarize, I think that the first couple of weeks in the Netherlands were a little like shocking, but in a positive way. It was the fact that I have to embrace a new culture, embrace a new environment of, to be honest, of really nice people that will help you. I remember my first day that I didn't have internet. I was trying to get to my place, and I got confused with the address, but people on the streets were helping me, and finally I arrived to the place I was supposed to get. So it was a great experience from the first day. Arriving at RSM, at the school, and meeting my fellow peers, it was actually quite nice. I hadn't had the opportunity in a while to meet different people. In my work in Peru, I would travel. I would go to some places, but I don't think I had ever been in a room with so many people from different backgrounds, nationalities, experiences. So the first couple of days also with them was a little like shocking, but in a good way. It was like, yes, I have arrived to a place that I can actually absorb so much and learn so much, which again, it fits a little bit with how I am. So for me, it was great. I wasn't really intimidated. I was actually like really anxious and happy. And I remember that the first couple of days that we were doing, some activities that we would like to break the ice and get to know people. I really enjoyed them a lot, because I got to know a lot of really good people and friends that I'm still in touch with right now. My main highlight of the program of RSM is the Live-in Management program experience. That program, it was something that I was told during the interviews. It was something that alumni talked to me about, and I could say 100% that they were like really on spot, and they were on target on what they told me. I believe that experience not only is challenging, which is definitely something that you want to be challenged during an MBA, but also brings you together with the group that you're working with. It's an experience of also getting to know yourself, because I never had that experience before, working with a team for 4 weeks and consulting for like a big company. In my case, it was eBay, which it was a technological company, really big, and they had like a really tough challenge that we had to work on. So that's my major highlight that I have to like specifically. And from a general standpoint, also having so many teamwork assignments, and you have to like every course and every couple of weeks you have to deliver something on a team basis and on an individual basis. It was also challenging and fulfilling at the same time. I that was for me my highlight in general, the way I learned the most, and something that I really value right now, because I think the RSM program keys on teamwork and how you can make yourself available to them and be a leader, but not imposing, but by working and being collaborative. Throughout the year, you have different modules, and they take you through an introspection about yourself and how you're going to be mindful and how you can actually know yourself in order to become a better leader. And also they take you on the things that you can improve on to be a better teammate, and assess yourself as what are the tasks that you have to improve on to be a better teammate and actually lead teams around the world. But the nice part is the culmination of the program, where you have to write, you have to both write and record an I will speech, which is a main tagline of the RSM family, which is a small line that represents what you want to do in the future. In my case, my I will statement is I will lead by example. I had that from the beginning until the end. I know you can change it, but in my case I didn't. And I try to do that throughout the year, throughout this module, throughout different sessions that we had with my peers. And in the end, after delivering this speech to yourself and to a program, you kind of have a sense of how everything has pieced together. And in the final days, you meet again with everyone. You open up the letter that you made to yourself during the first weeks, and you see how nice and how fulfilling it is that you actually had these goals and you could actually like work towards them and achieve them. The program never stops working towards a leadership development. It always has, in a way, it's always present. And I think in the end is where you actually noticed how much it has helped you throughout the year. I think in the beginning, I was a little more trying to be vocal and push the team in a more vocal way, thinking that was the right path towards achieving the goal, which kind of resemble a little bit how I used to lead my personal team when I was working back home. But then I realized that you also, and with this program of personal leadership development and the different modules that we have, that it's also important to listen a lot, take a step back and delegate to other people. There might be a task that it might fit you, but it can help other better than it can help yourself. So you also have to be mindful on what's best for a team and not only for yourself. And like I said before, one of my best highlights and the way to demonstrate that was in the Living Management program. I think these teammates were amazing. They're definitely the ones that know me the best in an MBA way. And I think they would say right now that they have liked my development in the sense that I don't have to step in and push all the time, but I also know how to delegate, step back, listen, and know how to distribute the workload in a way that it can be balanced and everyone can get a positive outcome out of it. It was definitely quite a journey for me to be right now in Amazon and in Barcelona. And the way, obviously, the university helped me was they made a straight connection with Amazon through a program called Pathways, which is something that Amazon has developed for the past 10 years. It's a program that is fairly recent, but it's not open to every university. So RSM, I think we're one of the lucky ones to have it. Career Services helped all of us, not only me, because they made the program available to all of us. And I think, and I feel pretty lucky that I'm in it. I've only been there a couple of days in the job, but I think it has a lot of the things that I was taught in RSM. It's about managing people, about how to understand your team, stakeholder management, also to organize and be strategic at the same time. So my journey towards Amazon in Barcelona was unexpected, but at the same time, I feel like I'm in a path that I feel like I belong. I honestly wanted to give it a shot in the Netherlands because I came to really like the country. But Spain and Barcelona, they have obvious advantages for me because of the language, a little more similar to my culture, and weather-wise, it's really nice. But yeah, it was a nice journey. RSM coached me in how to do these personal interviews. Amazon is it's a quick but tough interview process. You have interviews with many people for a long period, and with my coach and my fellow teammates and peers. I rehearsed a little bit. I got prepared, not over prepared, because I think spontaneity is also good in interviews, and they got me through it. By the end of the year, I had an offer. It was first without saying which country, so I assumed it was in the UK because at first Pathways was only in the UK. They called me and they said if I want to do Spain, and I was like, yes, of course, I'll give it a shot in Spain. And the good thing about this program is that it's not static. It's a little bit of kind of like my life has been. So it can take me, the journey can start in Barcelona, but I can also end up hopefully again in the Netherlands. In every single way, in every sense, from the academic to the career services to the peers and to the whole program in general, prepare me to achieve the goal that I was set out to achieve even before I applied to RSM. It rounded up nicely, fortunately, and I'm glad to say that RSM was the tool and the bridge that made it successful for me in order to work in a multinational company outside of my home country, which was my goal from first day. For me personally, what I grasped the most out of RSM, I think, is teamwork, being collaborative, have a team spirit, not an individual one. Of course, people want to excel, and it's a highly competitive environment. But at the same time, you feel that people want to collaborate and help you achieve things with you. That's my sense. That's something that I have talked with people. That's something I have talked to other people that work that have done MBAs at other universities. And I think this is the unique thing that distinguishes RSM. It's a fairly small cohort, not as big as many other universities in Europe, but I think that's an advantage because you become closer to the people that you work with and you study with. So my RSM value, and what I also value the most about the program, is the fact that people are open to work with you and be collaborative with you and try to help you in this endeavor. And when they try to help you, I mean, they share their stories, they share their values. They want to be part of your life in a way that can have a meaningful impact in the future. And that's rare. That's not something that you see around the corner. And that's what I take the most out of the program. The fact that people want to be there for you and help you in this journey made it worthwhile for me.